Hi, I'm Ben, and today we're talking about guilt-free budgeting. Let's face it, a lot of people quit budgeting or never even get started because, well, the whole thing kind of just feels like a guilt trip. And it's easy to see why. I mean, you spend all this time trying to make this perfect plan to build the life you want. But the problem here isn't having a budget. It's the kind of budget you have. For instance, my wife Maddie and I bought an actually kind of nice car a few weeks ago for the first time in our lives. We had saved up for it, and this car was exactly as much as we had budgeted for. So we got it insured, we paid for a plate, and then we paid sales tax, which I forgot to budget for. Life is gonna throw you curveballs, but when that happens, and it will, you can approach your budget one of two ways. You can approach it like this, where you've given every dollar a very specific job, and just moving $1 will mean that this is a brittle budget, where any deviation from the plan means failure and guilt. The funny thing is, a lot of people think this is what good budgeting looks like, ruthlessly sticking to this perfect plan. Problem is, there are no perfect plans. A healthy budget is one that can adjust when life throws you those curveballs. At You Need a Budget, we call these adjustments rolling with the punches. And it's so important that it's actually one of our 4 key rules for managing money. So the problem with our previous budget wasn't that we were moving money, it was how we were moving that money and where we were moving that money from. Figuring that out is the key to our second, healthier, and guilt-free way of dealing with overspending. So to do this, you're gonna need to sort your categories into 3 basic groups. First, you have your untouchables. These form the foundation of your life, the stuff that directly affects your health and well-being. These are pretty much non-negotiable, so you're definitely not pulling from here. On the other end, you have nice-to-haves. These are things you like, but can definitely do without. So these are the first thing to go when you need to cover some overspending. Easy. Then there's the in-between. These things are important to you, but it's not gonna be an emergency if you don't have money for them this month. So you only really wanna pull from these if you've already exhausted your nice-to-haves. Obviously, none of these moves are risk-free. But when you have a plan for dealing with overspending, it makes the whole process a lot less stressful and a lot less guilt-inducing. So you may be asking, well, what are nice-to-haves and what are in-betweens? Well, that's really up to you. If you're like me, then board games are just shy of untouchable, while new clothes are just nice to have. But your situation will be totally different if you're a mom of 4 or a college grad trying to pay down debt, or a couple who just found out you're having your first kid. Whatever your situation, just remember, moving money around isn't a sign of failure. It's a sign of flexibility. So when life throws you a punch, forget about feeling guilty. Just figure out how you are gonna roll with it.